Tired of the frustration of spilt fuel when pouring from a jerry can in the bush? Discover Jerry Spout. Jerry Spout is the holder of 49 international patents and is made from genuine metal. Revolutionary Jerry Spout features a unique clamping device so easy to use it's child's play. Simply attach Jerry Spout onto the nose of a jerry can and clamp it down firmly. Look, see how easy it is? No more mess. It's impossible to spill. Don't be frustrated, folks. Get Jerry Spout. How much would you pay for this fantastic invention? $500? 300? No. It's yours for just 49 rands 95 cents. Never spill anything ever again. Call now and we'll send you absolutely free a Land Rover 110 V8 complete with safari trailer, 4 jerry cans and our patented portable commode. Place your order now, fellas. Our operators are waiting for your call.
I'm Andrew St Pierre White. Join me as I share my passion for building four-wheel drive trucks and then travelling to the remotest parts of the world. After the astronauts have taken off in the space shuttle and they begin orbiting over the Earth, they peer out of the windows. What are the first 3 man-made structures they see? Pyramids of Giza, the Great Wall of China, and the panel gaps in a Land Rover Defender. In a very, very remote and hilly part of the Richtersveld. Greg is taking us to what he has called his crater. Now, I understand that it's a meteorite crater, and that he has shown very, very few people this particular spot. You know, I look around me, common sense says to me, this is a meteorite crater. I mean, this black, deep black, heavy stone. There's petrified mud. I've never seen a concentration of stone like this. It's almost black. It's a meteorite crater. I'm convinced of it. You know, you can imagine the amount of heat generated from the impact. It must have been incredible. I mean, the rocks are still warm. The elephant come closer to the waterhole and shoo the lion away. And they run off towards the zebra, who think that they're being chased. So they run. The zebra might be experienced, but they're completely confused. They don't know which way to go or what to do. All of the rest camps boast beautiful, quaint gift shops. All the curios you could possibly want. And if after a long trip you're a bit disappointed that you haven't seen all the animals you really wanted to see, you can actually take them home with you. Yes, indeed. Biltong, known to some as beef jerky. Now, in the height of bad taste department, you know, when you watch the little animals, and every now and again you notice that they leave little packages on the ground behind them. Well, you can take those home with you too. Yes, believe it or not, this is elephant feces. It might be dried, it might be desiccated, but it is served with alcohol. Hang on, that's aftershave. Well, aftershave will help a bit. Now, those lines are the differentials of vehicles. One of the features of Kalahari tracks is that they're like rubber lines. I'm driving at 35 kilometers an hour and I'm not touching the steering wheel. And the vehicle is steering itself. And the amazing thing is that when you're driving a car, you don't actually steer it. You just point it occasionally. Because the tracks are like railway lines. The car will travel along the railway line. It just stays on the track. And loneliness breeds a strange benign insanity, as we will find out later. This morning, my bout of madness has kicked in earlier than usual. Oh, it's early morning. You probably can't hear me because you're right over there. And I'm right over here. So it means I have to go right over there to turn you off. Morning exercises. Now this is my other camera kit. Now this long lens you see on it is not the standard lens obviously that comes with the camera. It's actually a lens used for a Leica stills camera, and with it I can get shots like this, even though these Gemsbok are actually in Gabon. Whenever I have done one of these solo expeditions, I find that after a few days, loneliness produces a kind of benign insanity. I never know when it's going to strike, but struck it has. Now you're being very silly. Now stop it. I said earlier that it was boring. Take it all back. Imagine somebody being wrecked ashore here. What would they think? Oh boy, we're saved. Oh, we got to land. Oh wow. Hold on a minute. Oh, they gotta get back in the boat. The southern gate to the Skeleton Coast Park. My intention is to make a brief visit before I head east and then north again. And then a little bit east and then north, but more, and the first thing I see are jackal footprints that lead the way to an unsightly mess of tangled steel. This is the bird colony. I call it that because the signpost, the first word is gone, so we'll just call it the bird colony. I'm not sure why they call it the bird colony. It's not a bird for 1,000 miles. My trip back in 1984 also took me through this part of Damaraland, and it's here that I remember getting stuck in the sand, and it's here that for the very first time I learnt how to use a winch. You're not allowed to laugh. Well, you can if you like, I suppose. People have probably never seen somebody with such white skin in their entire lives. What an adventure in Africa. I can think of not too many better jobs. There aren't that many better jobs.
Not to this one. Maybe. No, you've chosen a good one, Andy.
As usual, we attract the locals who, like me, are looking forward to dinner. They must go and find theirs. Now, I would like you to imagine your children being this euphoric the time when a plate of steak, egg and chips was placed before them. By the time I reach the beach, Andre has landed 2 nice garrick.
Giving you quite a nice.
They're beautiful silvery game fish, caught on a lure. And I have exactly the same lure. Not that it makes any difference. I might as well throw in an old shoe, the number of fish rushing up to gulp it down. But enough of this. Watching someone else fish is about as interesting as watching somebody cut their toenails. However, something interesting is stirring around the camp. It's my friend Jacques Angelini, and he is in a garlic frame of mind.
Are you ready?
That's it.
Yeah, that's what kick back, relax. You want a glass of water? Ish. This is called penne rigate, short pasta with ribbing. The ribbing is for holding the sauce. Aerodynamically, perfectly tested in the pasta wind tunnel. For sauce retention.
I was here last in 1988. It hasn't changed much. The river's of course exactly the same. Camping site is exactly the same. The company's different though. My wife's not with me this time. It was actually just before I married her. I stood on this bank here and I was throwing in lures after tigerfish. And I caught one. And I landed it on the river bank right here. I remember this is our camping site there, where the camera is. And Gwyn came up to the fish, kind of very, very excited, looking at the fish. And then the fish jumped, and she leapt out of the way. I promised her that I would not show you the video footage of that moment. Well, a bit. Well, it's morning and we are now at Papa Falls Rest Camp. Papa Falls Rest Camp, how do I best describe it? It's nice. Went to see the falls last night and they're nice. Well, this is the campsite at Papa Falls and I think it's nice. Well, this is it, Papa Falls. In my opinion, it shouldn't be called Papa Falls, it should be called Papa Rapids. Nevertheless, it's nice, eh? Yeah, very nice. Time for a little fishing and a nice refreshing swim in the Okavango River. And whatever else comes to mind. Guess what I'm doing now?
Put a little. I'll do a little narration saying, guess what I'm doing? Welcome to the biggest, baddest 4x4 Overland Expo in the whole world. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Now, this better be good, eh? I came right across the Atlantic Ocean
All
for this,
the way.
and it was hell out there. I had to eat US Airlines food. I'll never forget that in a hurry.
As it turns out, that was not the main event.
This is pork butt that we boiled for about 3 hours, and it's real tender. We've got a new BFF here. He's a
He's a British guy, and he's a filmmaker, and he's explored the world, and he's very interested. No, he's not gay, he's just British. No.
That's a lovely little tent. Now, this is the mattress. Now I have to blow it up, screw that. Now, this will take me several hours, and I hope that by the time I faint from overdoing it, it'll be pumped up enough to cushion my fall. There, the English Channel. This is not far from Dover. They're not the White Cliffs of Dover, but we are not far away. We're in a town called Folkestone. We're camped for the night. Long day drive today, all the way from Lincolnshire through London, collect a passport in London, and now south coast of England. Tomorrow morning, very early, we're catching the ferry to cross into France. The reason why I'm doing this is that I'm going to, for the first time, the Overland Expo in Bad Kissingen in Germany. After a mad rush through France, a little bit of France, Belgium, a lot of Germany, we finally arrived last night with 10 minutes to spare, 10 to 10. I close all the gates, stop all traffic at 10 o'clock. We just made it by the skin of our teeth. And so arrived here just as it was getting dark, exhausted, collapsed into bed. Had no time at all to introduce ourselves to the people that are around us, with which we'll be spending the next 4 days. But I heard them this morning introducing themselves to each other. Turns out that they're all called Morgan, even the women. But I'm designing a bespoke system unit for myself. And I want to learn more about living in, because see, I want to be able to live in the camper as well as out of the camper for bad weather and good weather conditions. So where do I go to find out about effective and practical living in cramped conditions? She's 95 meters long and weighs in at 1,526 tons. Okay, lesson number 1, keep all hard, sharp objects high up. Oh dear, that's better. I'm a bit scared of pressing the buttons here in case it accidentally shoots a torpedo and sinks the Jeremiah O'Brien. There is one other place that I can think of that would be even better in learning about living in cramped conditions. Alcatraz! In the valley ahead of us is the racetrack. I have no idea why it's called the racetrack. They call this area the racetrack. They call this a playa. Not a pan, a playa. It's very, very different from a pan. It has no crusty surface. In fact, the surface is very slightly soft. All right? And they ask you, please never, never, never walk on it when it is wet because the footprints stay for, well, forever. And it is also famous for moving rocks. And I'm being serious. The rocks move on their own. Let's see if this one will move. Go on then, show us your stuff. We could stay longer, but I don't think we will. Ah, you're just fooling us, aren't you? Just sitting there, smug like that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55.
Andrew, where's the lens cap?
It's on the driver's seat.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
thanks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's fantastic! This is the best thing ever! I just want to drive into the sea. Oh wow, what a day, what a day, what a day. It's fantastic. Oh, almost stop smiling. Now that's a good birthday.
Similar power, not as powerful as this. And I gave it a name. I don't normally give names to my equipment, and that name was SETI. SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. But this is even more powerful. Because if anything is going to be effective, this is. Watch this. I'm going to call it the Sun. Likewise, blow drum. Blue drum.
Hello? Hello? You want to speak to who? Oh. Andrew! Call for you. Long distance call.
Long distance. Hello? Hello? Mother! Hello? 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 Cut off. Mother. Dear mother. She was like one of the family. We're now going to Orange Drum. I wonder what that'll look like. Here, within 10 or so kilometers, is the halfway point. Time to celebrate. What we need is some champagne, or something close.
I'm terribly sorry, I don't have any champagne.
Ah, but I have some bubbly.
Bubbly?
Yep.
Well, that will do.
Yep. Well, guys, it's halfway, so I thought we'd celebrate. Yeah, you agree?
Absolutely.
But
yeah, we have nothing to
no,
celebrate with.
Nothing to celebrate with. Well, I have some bubbly.
Yes.
You didn't bring bubbly?
We didn't bring
No,
bubbly.
they didn't bring it.
We brought
I've already asked them,
Honestly.
they didn't bring them. Anyway, there you go. There's 3. So what I now need to do is to
You meant bubbly?
sort out some
Bubbly.
bubbly. Yes. There you go. There you go. Oh!
Then
And this one. Cheers, everybody. You're very good health.
to great level on the getting
halfway.
They're getting stuck halfway.
And a wonderful sunset.
This wasn't the well water.
This is a great vintage, huh?
Very good.
Canning stock,
Canning
2017.
It was
going to
the,
be a vintage
Which
to
well did
remember.
we get it out of? It was the one where the bit's floating in it, because we had to filter it through a cloth.
Yes.
Yeah. It
Great.
makes for really good taste.
And with an air
Really
compressor
good.
bubbles.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm more pleased.
No problem. As we wake well before sunrise, we discover that Lake Disappointment has changed its name. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise over Lake, having a fantastic time. There it is.
It's vista time. Everybody point. Wow.
There's a vista.
There's over there. I'm training them. They're doing better today. Except for Justin, he's a slow learner.
Isn't He's looking for camels. He's looking for camels. Shame. The vista's here as well. The other vista's there. We'll
doing that?
Now that's what I like to see in my classes, enthusiasm.
And when we see a camel, we say,
Camel!
Camel!
Dude, would you please bring me an espresso in the TP tomorrow morning?
I could probably do that.
And he wasn't joking.
Thank you. Jeremy, I asked for a Grande Soya Macchiato no whip extra foam with room, and the only thing you got right was the room. There is a legend about the hippo. Why does it spend all its time in the water? I'm telling the story. When God created all of the wonderful animals of Africa, he looked down on them proudly, only to be interrupted by the hippo that looked up and said, "I'm getting sunburnt. I want to go in the water, please." God said, "No, if you go in the water, you'll eat my fishes." Hippo said, No. If you let me go in the water, what I'll do is every time at night I'll come out, I'll do my number 2, I'll spray it with my tail all over the place so you can see that I haven't eaten any of your fishes. So God said, okay, we'll give it a try. And that's why when the hippos come out at night, they do their number 2s by spreading it all over the place. And every time they do it, they look up and they say, look, see, no fishes. True story. And here is the perfect example of hippo poo, sprayed all over the log. But it's a little disappointing. We haven't actually seen a lot. I mean, it's a magnificent place and everything, but in terms of animal sightings, not quite what I hoped for. Sometimes, when animals are scarce, their bones and scats just have to do. This is a perfect example of the hyena scat. It contains a high quantity of bone fragments, and that is why it is so white. And now for the oldest bush joke in the world. Why do poos taper? Because if they didn't, all bums would close with a bang.
So you lost your leg, eh?
I could have a hip replacement. No, actually, the other way around. Here is the top. Look at your top. There.
Welcome.
Let's make fun of camping gear.
Another episode of Lowered Expectations.
So, in effect, it's either on or off. Yeah, that's maybe what we call the show, Lowered Expectations. Secondly, this.
It's getting better. Lowered Expectations. It's getting better.
Is the old. It's beautifully designed for transporting sand from one campsite to another via your vehicle, because inside here there's a beautiful scoop. It's magnificent. Half a kilo of sand. Every time you put it down, it picks it up automatically, transports it, leaves half of it in your truck, and when you get to the new campsite, it deposits it onto the ground and collects some more for the next run.
Is this actually on?
Is it actually on? Yeah, it is on.
No, it's not. Jeez. It burned out, this piece of crap.
Secondly, why would you want to carry such a heavy item in your vehicle? Because such a heavy item inside a vehicle like an SUV, you have to strap it down. If it's on a roof rack, you need to strap it down with a proper... We should do a thing about line matches. This is line matches. Line-made matches. You have to spend all the money on the bracketry. For what?
First question of the day. When was the K-deck burner invented? Andrew, go ahead.
1897.
Wrong! It was 1898, but you were very, very close. You get half a point for that one.
It is the most inefficient cooker in the world.
The wheel was invented right before that. And they made these in the same shape as the wheel.
Yes.
Clearly, that proves its existence.
And slightly heavier.
You would use these matches in a situation where life or death was on the line. And then you would find a box of unused matches next to a dead person.
Just going to create a little bush camp. Set off in the morning. We are behind schedule by almost a day, actually. But oh well, no big deal.
Okay, so we've just found a campsite. We just pulled off on the side of the road. There's a rest stop about 3 k's up, but that would have really sucked. It would have been right by the side of the road.
Go, your tent.
Yep. Isn't this the tent that Paul used on the canning stock?
Yeah. Surprised to come across these. Thirsty work, this fly shaking. So we're chasing the sun again, and we're going to try and find a campsite not in the national park, but probably just outside, and we'll go and probably have a good look at it, hopefully early tomorrow morning. We've pushed on all day, and pretty exhausted, we've found, to our delight, a secluded spot on a sand dune. In the distance, we can see Uluru. This is perfect. What a beautiful campsite. Hey, what do you reckon? Really nice. Away from everybody. Nobody around. Actually gorgeous, because the sun will come up over there, and then we can see the big rock in the distance. Wonderful. Gorgeous
Behold the cave of Carbano. There he is. Where? There. What, behind the rabbit? It is the rabbit.
The only other geothermal cave in the world, other than this one, is in Italy. So this is truly, truly rare.
That rabbit's got a vicious streak a mile wide. It's a killer.
First thing I thought of when I came and I saw the cave, I just thought of the scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I couldn't leave it alone. It ruins my life. Every time I turn around, I translate what I'm seeing into Python. It has truly ruined my appreciation for the natural world.
A duck!
Did they give you a key?
Yes, it's all open and waiting for us.
Okay, well, I'll drive the car over. Or do you want to drive the car over? Actually, you should drive the car over.
This is my punishment.
No, no. I want you to drive the car over there. I have my reasons.
Some serious leg bumps. I should drive this car every day. Just think how thin and soft-like I'll be.
Say that again, you.
Okay, where's the road?
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I think I need physio after that clutch.
You drove 12 meters. I mean, you can see it's a busy airport and there's lots and lots of things happening everywhere. If I had to move to New Zealand, I'd come and live in Wanaka. Come and live in Wanaka? Come and live in Wanaka, please. Please come and live in Wanaka.
No.
I mean, listen!
I didn't want to be listening.
Where would I come and see Endgame? Show me the cinema where I can come and see Avengers Endgame, and then we can live here.
Okay, we'll buy a cinema complex and move it
Over 600 knots.
What's wrong with home movies? There's something about being around airplanes.
Something about being around superheroes. And you ain't one of those.
And I'm not one of those. I can fly.
Yes, you can.
I can fly.
But you don't have a cloak. And
No,
a
I have
cape and
I have a Lycoming or similar.